Welcome everyone back to episode 10 of the People's Podcast. Crazy to think that we've already gotten here. My name's Alex, along with my favorite co-host James.
What's up, fellas?
And boy, do we got a good one for you today.
Yeah, it's gonna be a really
Last
good
day,
episode today.
New Year's Eve. We got year-end rewards, year-end awards, rather. And we're gonna go through our favorite things of the year. Basically, we got male wrestler of the year, female wrestler of the year, match of the year, and so much more. So it's going to be a fun discussion, I think.
Yep, nice
Personally,
little.
it's one of my favorite things to talk about. So
Yep, nice
'cause
little
it really
recap.
opens up the horizon to the whole wrestling world.
Exactly, it was a fun
So
episode we did last year with the other podcast, and it should be even more fun this year.
I think it'll be a blast. So I'm
It
really
will
looking
be.
forward to that. Before we get there, we got a couple games to play. Guess the wrestler, blind rankings. Got World's End to talk about. Just happened on Saturday, so that's exciting.
And as always, we got some hot takes for y'all. You know how much y'all love the hot
Got the hot
takes.
takes.
Especially
And a
Alex's
little.
hot takes. Everyone loves Alex's hot takes.
I got a good one. I think it'll get some good reactions this time, and I truly believe it. So
Same.
that's what makes it even better.
I got one I know you'll hate.
God, dude, you always try to piss me off. And then only other thing, I guess, is a little bit of weekly. Want to talk a little bit about Max, Netflix, Wrestle Kingdom coming up, Wrestle Dynasty. So that being said, let's get to it.
Let's go.
Got our hot takes to start. I'll go first this time. I think you went first last time. My hot take is, despite ratings and attendance going down, I think 2024 has been AEW's best year in existence. They're 5 years in. 2024, I'm hesitant to say by far, but I want to say by far has been the best year. I mean, when you look at strictly what they are and what they try to do and be that true alternative in the ring, I don't think that the year is even comparable to any other year that they've had in the past. I mean, Will Ospreay has been a huge help to that. Look at all the amazing matches that he's put on this year. They had Danielson, who's probably their best signing to date, win the world title. They've had Swerve, a huge up-and-comer, win the world title. I think they've had a crazy year all around. They had probably their best women's storyline that they've ever told, the best women's storyline that they've done in history. Come to a conclusion with Mariah May. It's hard to look at the year and say that it's a failure, in my opinion. Regardless, cool, ratings went down or whatever. Attendance has gone down a little bit. They're still drawing at their pay-per-views. They're still selling out pay-per-views. WWE is super hot right now, so I mean, who knows? Maybe that's taken away a little bit of interest in the alternative. But I think they've had an amazing year.
Honestly, I 100% agree with you. I definitely think it is the best year content-wise. You know, because one of my biggest complaints about AEW in previous years was lack of storytelling. And this year, they 100% have put effort into storytelling. Some of the best stories of the year came from AEW and all of wrestling. You know, we'll talk a little bit more of that later because it's definitely going to be in some of our categories. But yeah, the storytelling is great. The matches, there's been so many great matches this year.
Unreal.
Just from Will Ospreay alone. Like,
yeah.
No,
we'll talk more about Ospreay, I'm sure.
Yeah.
When we get there. But
Swerve has had great matches. Adam Page, the list goes on. You know, I definitely agree. I think this has been.
I feel like I'm gonna get shit on because
definitely you have an AEW take.
Dude, ratings have been down, and again, who gives a fuck about ratings?
Mm-hmm.
And now that they're going to Max starting tomorrow, like hopefully never have to see another dumb ratings post again.
You'll see them. You know, you can check. You know, now that you can check views, live streaming, and whatnot, there'll still be stuff. But I do think you have a small point. I do think with how hot WWE is right now, I think that does take away from the alternative, which is unfortunate. I think because, like I was saying, I do think it's AEW's best year so far, content-wise. So I wish I could say, what they're doing wrong that's causing this lack of viewership and attendance, but I don't think I could improve it.
I don't think there's really anything you can say. I mean, Tony Khan's basically stopped talking bad about WWE in the past like couple of months or half a year even. Like he's been professional,
yeah,
especially about the Orlando shows. You saw
exactly.
his response.
Yeah, saying because there was also a WWE Orlando show at during World's End, and he straight up said, "Yeah, it's great for pro wrestling," which is the correct answer.
It is a very very good answer from
Yeah, I
TK.
think
So
that's.
it's good to see. I think he's finally
Hmm.
maturing in that sense of like yeah, there's room for the big guy and AEW. Not saying
Yeah, I think.
AEW is a little guy by any means. They're
But
easily the second biggest
it,
promotion in the world.
yeah, but they are the kind of the little guy, and I don't think that's a insult to them. It's just WWE's so big, and I think it's maturing, and maybe he's starting to realize that he can't compete, which is fine. You can't compete with WWE. It's almost
It,
impossible.
I lean AEW obviously. Anybody who's
Hmm.
watched knows that, and you know that. But
Yeah,
it's impossible to go up against a machine that's been going for 60 plus years. Not under the name, but I mean
yeah,
the company's been going for years and years and years. 10 times the amount of years that AEW's been even a thought.
yeah,
So it's just you're not going to compete with that, and I hope he's starting to realize that. Just do your thing. Be the true alternative. That's all we want. So
yeah. And I think they do a better job not mentioning because there was a time period where they mentioned WWE like every week in a promo or something. I don't mind like they recently did on Monday Night Raw with Seth and Punk. They referred to AEW. I see. I like it every once in a while, or, here and there. But maybe he's told wrestlers they tone down on that because it's not necessarily needed every week.
yeah, and they really don't
Yeah,
do
they
that a
don't.
whole lot anymore.
No, they don't not at
I mean,
all.
if it fits a story, they'll bring it up, but it's not
Yeah,
like in a bashy kind of way.
yeah, exactly,
So,
exactly.
but yeah, so I
But
guess
yeah,
that's my hot take.
I would agree. But yeah, it would definitely bring some hate.
Awesome. Well, hit me, piss me off. I'm ready.
All right, my hot take. Randy Orton's voices theme song is better
No,
than Burning My Light.
that doesn't piss me off that much. I
Hmm.
disagree, but it's not like the worst thing in the world. Not like your last time's hot take. That was just dumb. But
but,
Voices
but,
is good.
but yeah, voices to me, it obviously it fits Randy Orton better with his character now. There's no debate about that, I don't think. But to me, the song itself just, and don't get me wrong, Burning My Light is a top tier theme song. I'm not hating on that whatsoever. It's in my playlist, probably in my top 10 theme songs of all time. But voices, I think probably my top five theme songs of all time. And I think it
Hmm,
just clears Burning My Light.
interesting. I feel like that's a really popular take with the younger generation because
Yeah.
that's pretty much all they know about Randy.
Hmm.
But I grew up with Burning My Light Randy, and
Yeah, same.
I love the sparks, dude. The sparks
Oh,
added
yeah.
so much to it. The
100%
shower of
agree.
sparks.
The Shower Sparks is one of the best like pyro spots out there,
Oh
and
yeah,
I don't think it gets done enough in pro wrestling.
it really doesn't at all anymore. Britt Baker did it for a while, but I think that's
Yeah,
even stopped.
Randy did a little bit during the pandemic era when he went back to that Legend Killer gimmick for a little bit.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah. I would like to see that again.
I did.
But
Yeah, I think it's great for pictures. I think.
yeah, yeah,
But yeah, I don't have much to say about that, but yeah, that's my hot
yeah.
take.
Yeah, honestly, I don't think that's a scorching take. Not like the scorching hot take you sent in the group chat earlier.
Oh, the
But
the athletes one.
yeah, maybe save that for next time, and we'll see if
Yeah,
people agree. See if people agree.
I'll piss off people in every sport with that one.
You would piss off the masses. Anybody who's not a wrestling fan would be so mad at you.
Yeah.
But you know what? That's the fun in it, isn't it? So
Hmm.
that is the fun part of it. Alrighty. Well, let's move on to guess the wrestler, shall we?
Yep.
We'll see if you can remain hot after your bounce back last week.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
I got to pull up the
Uh,
stats from the one I have for you, even though I know the stats of this person pretty well.
do I do?
I know the stats for this
Oh,
guy,
you do. Okay. Okay.
but I'm just in case there's something I get stumbled on.
Yep. I'm making sure Yep. I'm good, Maine.
Yep.
Who's
You,
going first?
uh,
Who wants to go first?
I'll guess first.
You'll guess first. Alrighty. Let me pull up the timer here. This is going to be a fun one, I think. Hopefully. Got a minute and 3 seconds on the clock. You ready?
Yep. Are they still active?
No.
Were they in WWE?
Yes.
Were they in AEW?
Nope.
Were they active in the Ruthless Aggression era?
Yep.
Attitude era?
Yep.
PG era?
Yep.
Have they retired in the past 5 years?
Did you say heavyweight?
Did they retire in the past 5
Oh,
years?
did they retire? I'm sorry. Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'll give you like 2 seconds back on that.
Former world champion?
Yes.
WWE champion?
Yes.
Did they face The Undertaker at WrestleMania?
They did.
Oh. Are they in the Hall of Fame?
Yes.
Have they won the Royal Rumble?
Yes.
Oh. WWE champion?
Yep. 10 seconds.
Intercontinental champion?
I believe so. Yep.
They win Money in the Bank?
No.
No. Okay.
Time is up, James. Oh no. Did I stun you? Did I get you for a second time?
Retired in the past 5 years. Fought The Undertaker at WrestleMania. You said they won the Royal Rumble?
They did win the Royal Rumble.
Am I allowed to check the list of the ones you've done in the past?
Yeah, I'll let you.
Okay.
Just to make sure, but I'm hesitant. But
okay. All right. Past 5 years, that did not help me at all.
gonna need a guess at some point here.
The past 5 years, former world champ, Intercontinental champion, Triple H.
Bang!
Let's go. Let's
You
go.
got it. You got it. I figured you would have after Ruthless Aggression, Attitude, PG era.
Mm-hmm.
Were you just running through the Undertaker WrestleMania opponents?
Yeah, I was thinking, okay, they're retired in the past 5 years. I'm like, because I started thinking, okay, maybe it's a recent Undertaker opponent, but I'm like, nothing's adding up there. Then I'm like, okay, it has to be Triple H. Because I know I did Triple H to you, but I was like,
did you do Triple H to me? I don't remember.
Did I?
I don't think you did.
I did not.
You didn't.
I did not.
No.
Which is fine.
You did Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, you can do people I did to,
yeah.
I've done to you. Okay. All right, Triple H.
Triple H off the list. Good job. Proud of you.
All right.
Alrighty. Bring it on. I'm ready. What is my record? I don't even
know. I would say you have a positive record.
I think so. I started off bad. I started like missing the first 3.
I think you're 5-4, if I had to guess.
Okay, so I didn't get AJ Styles or HBK, so I missed the first 2. I got Darby. I got Britt Baker. I got Logan Paul. So that's
you
3.
on a streak. You got Cena.
RVD, and I got Eddie Guerrero. That's 5. I don't think I got Cena or Mysterio.
Yeah, you didn't get Cena or Mysterio.
So yeah,
no, I think you got Cena.
I think I did get Cena. I didn't get Dom though.
You got Cena on the bell.
I didn't get Dom. So I'm 6-3.
Yep.
Because I know I got Darby and Britt Baker.
Yeah, those you definitely got.
Cool. All right, 6-3.
RVD, you got like a record time. I think that was
you've only missed one. Yeah, I know. Yep, that was insane.
All
right. Let's see who we got this week.
See it?
Yep. Are they still active?
Yes.
Do they wrestle on WWE?
Yes.
Were they in AEW?
No.
Have they been a world champion?
Yes.
Have they won a Royal Rumble?
No.
Were they active in the PG era?
Yes.
Were they active in the Ruthless Aggression era?
Maybe the tail end of it, the very end of it. Maybe. Considering
active in WWE, world champion, not in AEW. Drew McIntyre?
No.
That was a good guess, though.
Have
they won an Intercontinental Championship?
Yes.
Sheamus?
No.
Have they won a U.S. championship?
Yes.
Have they wrestled anywhere outside of WWE?
No. Maybe indie random bingo hall stuff growing, but nothing they're known for.
Randy Orton? No, he was. Oh fuck! This is the what?
10
Is
seconds.
he a high flyer?
Yes. I consider him.
I'm blanking right now. Was he in NXT? Oh.
I'll give you that other question, and yeah, technically yes.
Seth Rollins?
No.
Damn.
It is Kofi Kingston.
Oh, Kofi. Damn it. I messed that one up. Oh yeah, Rollins has won a Royal Rumble. I'm an idiot. I panicked.
It's so good.
I panicked.
And NXT was iffy. I'm like, yeah, because he was NXT Tag Team Champion, but like that was such
yeah. That was recent too. He was like last year, or even this year. I don't even remember. Damn, that was a tough one.
It was tough.
I probably would never have gotten that. I should have said, does he have a caved-in chest? Not that there's anything wrong with that.
All right.
Kofi Mania, baby.
Kofi Mania.
2019 was a wild time.
One of the few good things in 2019.
Wild time. Alrighty. Guess the wrestler. Done. Blind ranking time. I think this one's even more fun, to be honest.
This is my favorite one to do. I like this segment a lot.
All right. Do you want to rank first? We'll just keep the flow going. So blind rank these 5 WrestleMania matches.
Ooh, okay.
We're gonna start off at WrestleMania 40, Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns.
Ooh. WrestleMania match is not necessarily main event, so I'm gonna put this at just 3.
Matches. 3, okay. Alrighty. I'm gonna go WrestleMania 17, Edge and Christian versus Hardys versus Dudleys, TLC 2.
4.
Ooh, ouch.
That hurts.
That's a tough one. WrestleMania 22, Edge versus Mick Foley in a hardcore match. You were there.
I know I was there. This has some... But unfortunately, with the list I've made so far, I gotta put it at 5.
Oh, no.
Oh, I probably messed up.
Oh, WrestleMania 38, Seth Rollins versus Cody Rhodes. You have 1 and 2 available.
2.
Oh, no. Your number 1 WrestleMania match of all time. Well, not all time, but WrestleMania 20, Triple H versus Shawn Michaels versus Chris Benoit.
You know, that would be my number 1. Otherwise, I'd probably completely redo the script.
I respect it. So what would you change then? So let's just recap. So number 1, WrestleMania 20, Triple Threat, Triple H versus Shawn Michaels versus Chris Benoit. Number 2, Seth Rollins versus Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 38. Number 3, Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 40. Number 4, Edge and Christian versus Hardys versus Dudleys in TLC 2 at WrestleMania 17. And number 5 is Edge versus Mick Foley at WrestleMania 22.
So I would put Seth and Cody at 5.
Okay.
I'd put the Triple Threat TLC at 2. Then put Edge and Foley at 4.
Okay. I respect it. I respect that.
I could probably, depending on the day, I could probably flip the Edge and Foley and Cody and Roman.
Personally, I'd probably have Edge and McFoley at 1 if I were ranking those 5. It's just
that's fair.
Such a elite match.
It definitely has some sentimental value to me too. But
I'm sure.
I tried leaving some of that out, but I'm like, okay, that's fairly important because that's one of my first key memories at a live event.
The spear through the flaming table was insane.
I still have that visual in my head, dude.
So crazy, man. Awesome. So. All right, my turn.
Yes,
Let's
sir.
see what do you got for me?
In the theme of 2024 roundup, rank these 5 title changes in 2024.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, your first option. Swerve wins the AEW title.
I'm gonna put that at a 3 because
Ooh,
I think I
okay.
know a 1 and a 2 that's coming to me.
Okay. Cody Rhodes wins the WWE title.
Yep, 2.
Okay. Okay. Jey Uso Intercontinental title win.
5.
Ooh.
5. Not a the
Okay, you're
pe-
not a big Jey fan.
if the people know, I love the Usos as a tag team, but Jay as a singles just did not do it for me at all.
Okay, fair enough. Gunther World Heavyweight title.
Oh, I'm not sure what you're gonna give me for the
Between 1
last
and
one.
4.
Damn. So 4.
4, and I think that's for you. That was a good decision because your number 1 is Bryan Danielson winning the AEW title.
That's the one I was waiting for. Number 1, perfect list. That's a perfect list. I think that's a perfect
That's a
list.
good
So
list. I think that might be my list too. I think that would be my.
Danielson at
Nah,
1,
yeah,
Cody at 2, Swerve at 3, Gunther at 4, and Jay at 5.
yeah. I might switch Swerve and I mean not Swerve, Danielson and Cody, but other than that,
Yeah,
yeah, I'd agree.
that's a
I'd agree.
perfect list for me. Can't beat it. Sweet man. That was a fun. I like that one.
Yeah, that was a good one.
2024 matches would be a fun one too.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing that, but that took a lot more breaking
I,
down.
I was thinking about doing like rank these top 5
Will Ospreay.
Will Ospreay 2024 matches. That'd be a hard one though.
It would have been funny if you did rank these 2024 matches overall. Just don't say Osprey, but still have Osprey as every single one. That was like several years ago for the Slammy Award for Best Kiss of the Year. Every category had AJ Lee was just a different dude.
Oh man.
uh,
All right. Well, that wraps up the blind rankings. That was a fun one. Let's get right into what just happened on Saturday. World's End AEW pay per view, last AEW show of the year, and I think they went out with a bang. Personally, I think it was a
really
great
good.
show overall. Potentially, it could be in my top 5 favorite shows of the year, based on the match quality for basically the whole card, the returns that happened, and just the overall just excitement of it, storytelling, excitement. The crowd was on fire the whole night. So,
Yeah,
what did we like about the show? What did we didn't like about the show?
it was definitely one of the probably best shows of the year. Like I really liked the show. Like it was every match was really good. Uh, got 2 Osprey matches that both were absolutely
Dude,
bangers.
I don't know how he does it.
I don't get it, man.
I'm
Like,
just I'm speechless. Like every time I get done watching a Will Ospreay match, I'm just left like in awe. Like, how the hell does he do this?
like in our group chat, Eric said after his first match with Kyle Fletcher, how people gonna top that? Well, only person that can top Will Ospreay is Will Ospreay, and he certainly did that.
He did it. He did absolutely.
all
God,
props, to,
man.
all props to Okada too. It's not like it was a one-handed match. Ospreay and Okada together, just that's gold, man. That's
It was magic. They put on magic. Well, Kazuchika Okada proved that he's still one of the best wrestlers in the world. I think,
mm-hmm,
and he hasn't really brought it out a lot this year. But I think it's kind of it was the same way in New Japan. Like he wasn't wrestling every week or anything. He
mm-hmm.
when he had a big match, he performed at the highest level, and that's the Okada that we saw at World's End.
100%,
So,
100%. Now,
and,
are we gonna go down from match to match, or you want to just overall talk?
I don't think so. I think we can just highlight.
Okay,
I
cool.
don't think we have to go match by match, but
That's fine. Oh, for the Continental Classic, I love the tournament. I think it's the best style tournament out there, but I don't like the idea of a title for it because I feel I'm not saying they have too many. It has nothing to do with that. It's just you win this tournament, but then throughout the year you become Continental Class champion by just winning one match against a champion. To me, that doesn't really make like I'm not a fan of that concept. I think it should be almost like a King of the Ring concept where you get a future world title match or something different. I'm not a fan of the
kind of
title for it.
like the G1 climax, how they get a world
Yeah,
title match
yeah, something like
and
that.
a big ass trophy.
Yeah, like if they want to do a title, like as a trophy, that's cool. But I don't think it's something that should be defended throughout the year.
That's fair. I dig it actually. It's different. It's different. It's not like something that any other company really does.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, King of the Rings for a title shot. The G1 Climax is for a trophy and a title shot. So I kind of like that they kind of are differentiating themselves from the other two major promotions in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think that it adds prestige in a way to the title because the champion every year automatically gets entered into the tournament. So it's like you want to become champion, you're going to have to fight to remain champion. You're going to have to go through this hell of a gauntlet fighting 6, 7 matches in the
Mm-hmm.
tournament to keep your championship. And I think it adds another like element of excitement of like, oh, they might not make the finals like a week before the finals or whatever. Will they lose this match and will they not even make the finals? Will we get a new champion?
Mm-hmm.
Or will they make the finals and then still have to defend their championship in the finals or whatever? I just think
Mm.
I like it a lot.
Yeah, you're right. It is unique and it's hard to be different in wrestling sometimes. So I guess it is good that it is has that different concept. Yeah.
So, yeah, I think the Continental Classic overall was a huge success.
Oh yeah, such a good
They
tournament.
they
Such
intermingled
good.
so many different like stories in the Continental Classic with like the whole Darby and Brody King, Brody Allen, Darby Allen and Brody King's story. How Brody like beats the shit out of Darby, but then like he has his back against Claudio Castagnoli or whatever. He
Mm-hmm.
like saves him. It's like the little touches like that of the stuff that I love.
Yeah, this tournament definitely made me more of a fan of Brody King. Definitely.
Yeah,
I was always iffy on Brody King. I'm like, oh, yeah, to me, he was always just a member of the House of Black. But now, like, he definitely can stand on his own.
and especially with Julia Hart coming back. I think like
Mm-hmm.
if Malachi ends up leaving, I don't know what's going on with Buddy, but Brody King with Julia Hart like together, I think they make a great pair.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
also, I see a lot of criticism about how Okada won and how Okada and Osprey were in the finals. It's like Osprey, first of all, is still in his prime. He's
Mm-hmm.
literally like the biggest star in the company.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know why that's an issue to people. Okada is one of the greatest New Japan stars of all time, and he's only 37. It's not like he's some 45, 50-year old. It's not like they're pushing like Adam Copeland to win the Continental Classic or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
No, I love Adam, but
Yeah, I get what
uh,
you're saying.
they're saying that they did nothing to help the young stars in the tournament, and I completely disagree with that. Kyle
Yeah,
Fletcher, he won his league. He looked like a freaking badass in every single match, and he only lost because he went up against the literal best wrestler in the world in the semifinals.
yeah, he's already has a win over too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Darby Allin looked amazing in the tournament. Daniel
Mm-hmm.
Garcia had a really strong showing in the tournament. He tied with Okada, who ended up winning the tournament. So I just don't
Mm-hmm.
get the criticisms of how I just don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, Osprey and Okada in the final definitely wasn't my choice in the start of the tournament, but it doesn't necessarily make it a bad choice. Did I prefer Kyle Fletcher winning it all? Yeah, I think that would have been a great choice and better overall, but I don't see any problem with Okada and Osprey being in the finals and Okada winning.
100%. I mean, those two have such a long history in New Japan, going back, I don't know, a couple of years at least. Because I know they fought in the G1 a couple of years ago. Um, why not? And we know how good both of those guys are. Why not pit them up in the finals against each other? You know they're going to create magic, and they did. And you know they're
Exactly.
both at the top level in the world, and they are. So I don't get it. Just because a young guy doesn't win the tournament doesn't mean they're buried. It doesn't mean that they didn't have a strong showing. It doesn't mean
Exactly.
that they looked like crap. So there's just this weird connotation with losing a match and being buried, and I just don't like it.
People need to realize the difference between losing and getting buried. There's two big differences.
Yeah, 100%. So, but after the match, haven't seen him in a year, over a year now. Last match was a year ago, a little over a year ago. the god of professional wrestling returned. Kenny Omega back as EVP, confronted Okada, kind of, handed him the title, but man,
I'm excited, man. I'm really excited to see Kenny back.
yeah, me too. And he looked great.
He did. He looked good.
He didn't
I
look
hope.
like he was. He didn't look like he was struggling health wise. He looked healthy. He looked in shape. He looked like he slimmed down a little bit.
Yeah.
But maybe that's not a bad thing.
Yeah, probably something maybe he had to do with diverticulitis.
Yeah.
I don't know what you gotta do for that. I'm not no doctor.
Are you sure? But dude, the foreshadowing with them standing face to face with the All In banner in the background. Oh my god! Like
yeah,
that
definitely.
alone will sell. That'll move massive amount of tickets, I think.
Oh, 100%.
Like I wasn't thinking about going to All In really, and
Mm-hmm.
then that happened, and I was like, damn, I gotta go to the show. I texted my friends back home and was like, so who wants to go to All In? But
I would love to. I just don't know if it'll be possible.
yeah, I get it. I'm really looking forward to that, and they have 7 months to build to it. As long as that's, I really hope that they wait until All In to have the match.
Mm-hmm.
I hope they realize the kind of opportunity that they have there.
I think they will. I think that in the background was just foreshadowing. I think that wasn't
Yeah,
a coincidence.
yeah, I agree. So I hope so. I know they kind of have a history of maybe having a match a little bit sooner than maybe they should.
Yeah, I
Like
was gonna
a
say
big
that
time match like that, but
sometimes AEW does pull triggers really fast, but I don't think this would be that situation.
I don't think it should. I don't think it needs to be. So
Mm-hmm.
you in down the line you can have Kenny cost Okada the Continental Championship just to help further the feud, and then because that title doesn't need to be, they don't need to fight for a title at all.
No,
And
not at all.
the history alone, and I've
That
only
match is
seen
that match is a lot bigger than the Continental
exactly,
title.
exactly. I don't know if you've seen any of the Okada Omega matches from
I've
New
seen
Japan.
one of them.
I've seen two of them, and I have watch New Japan World, and I'm gonna make it a goal to watch them all before they end up having the match. So
how many are there?
I think there's 4.
Yeah.
So I know only one of them happened at Wrestle Kingdom. A couple happened at Dominion, and maybe the G1. I don't quote me on that. I looked it up on a Cage Match the other day.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah. What else about World's End? What else we got?
Maybe this is gonna be a hot take, but I guess a downside of it. I think the main event was very underwhelming.
I agree with you.
I was very underwhelmed. I think it was the worst match on the card.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah, it was just very underwhelming.
Which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
Nobody's talking about the match at all. People are talking about the return afterwards, which is great. But the match it didn't really deliver like it should have. The highlight of the match was Jay White giving the Blade Runner to Marina Shafir. That was about it for me. But
yeah,
I expected more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that match, and not necessarily the match itself, the ending, we slightly talked about it. Obviously I'm not a Mercedes fan whatsoever, but I'm not gonna deny her and Statlander have had 2 great matches. But both of them have ended in a roll-up, which I'm not a fan at all, especially the second one.
The most devastating move in wrestling. That wasn't really a roll-up. It was kind of like
kind of a different type
she had her in like the crucifix, but then held down like her other foot, and like it was interesting. But I kind of agree. But at the same time, it doesn't make Statlander look bad.
No, not at all. If anything, it does help Statlander because losing their roll up usually helps protect you a little bit because it's kind of like a fluke win. But I was really hoping Statlander would go over. And now again, bias side away, I feel like Statlander deserves another run as TBS champion.
Oh yeah, 100%. I feel like they're going to use this to kind of catapult her to maybe the world title. I hope that's the case. Because Statlander is amazing.
He's really
every time she has great matches. She's a very likable person, very likable heel, face. So I guess that begs the question: who do you want to see beat Mercedes for the TBS title?
God, anybody. But
I kind of feel like maybe Willow should be the one to kind of
Willow would be
take it back.
cool. Yeah, that'd be cool. Sky Blue coming back from injury anytime
Yeah.
soon?
Gosh, she's been out over half the year, so
Yeah, she's a.
maybe.
I'm a big Sky Blue fan. I got to represent Chicago, so yeah. I mean, I don't know. I would love to see Brett Baker come back and take it from her.
Mm, yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't think Britt's that great of a wrestler.
Really?
I think she's a likable person. I
Hmm.
don't really. I feel like her best matches always come in like specialty, like street fights or whatever.
Fair enough.
But
Maybe. Oh, Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa could be a good option.
Thunder Rosa, yeah,
Yeah.
Thunder Rosa's good. I like Thunder, but we'll see. Who knows?
It's got to be soon. She's had that title for a long time.
End of May, yeah. So it's
Yeah.
been 7 months.
Yeah.
She's a. I'll never mind. I'll talk about it more when we get down to the urn
Fair
award.
enough. Fair enough.
But
But yeah,
anything else you want to highlight?
Adam Copeland returning. You can't
Yeah,
skip
I
over
guess
that.
that's the last biggest thing.
Mm,
So
I
I
love seeing
pop.
him back. I like the idea of rated FTR, but it scares the hell out of me that he's gonna dethrone Mox.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
Especially with Christian being, having the contract. That just like
Is that your
it,
worst nightmare?
the story writes itself. The story writes itself, and if that
Uh,
happens, I don't see how that would work back to Darby.
I mean, Darby and Christian have a history, so it
They do.
could, but I've or it could be a kind of thing where Copeland wins the world title, Christian immediately cashes in, and Darby challenges him the next whatever in like a couple weeks or whatever.
That's
Darby
the
wins
thing.
with the help of Adam Copeland,
If
costing Christian the match. But then we're just right back at square one of Copeland versus Christian. I don't think we need that
no,
anymore.
I don't. I don't.
Not yet, anyways.
But if that was to happen, if Adam Copeland wins the AEW World Champion and Christian cash ins, I think Copeland would win.
Really?
Because otherwise, you're just repeating the same story.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah. The
Yeah,
exact same thing that happened for the TNT title.
exactly. Yeah, but I don't. Obviously they've had great matches and they have their history, but I think the Adam Copeland and Christian stuff can just go away for a little bit. You don't
Yeah.
need it.
He just came back, yeah.
Exactly. Edge's career don't have too much longer. Probably a few more years.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Maybe two more. Maybe at the end of this contract, he's got 2 more years left. So maybe that'll be it.
Especially if he gets another injury. He's obviously someone who's had a career worth of injuries, and they're never easy injuries. They're always ones that take like a year.
Just please don't jump off
10
a
years.
again. Or if you're going to, just don't land on your feet, please.
Yeah. So I mean, I'd imagine now that he wants to fight new people. He's been working with Christian for 30 years, so I'd imagine he wants to go on with new people because there's so much talent there that he hasn't stepped in the ring with yet.
Well, one of the people when he debuted, one of the people he said he wanted to wrestle was Mox. So I feel like it's the perfect time for it.
Oh, definitely.
I don't think he'll win. I don't think he'll win. It has to be Darby, and they keep alluding to it. That Darby is like almost the main character of this Death Rider storyline. So I feel like if it's anybody other than Darby, I'll be a little disappointed.
Same. My take.
I know your take. Yeah, you're gonna boycott if it's not Darby.
Exactly. But speaking of, like you said, Adam and Moxley, I just want to know what the heck Edge's beef is with the Shield. Like, he's done that little chair spot where he takes off a piece of chair and puts it and does the crippler crossface his head.
Yeah,
And he's done it with older members of the Shield. Like, I get the beef with Seth because Seth was talking shit and messed with him when he was injured. But man, obviously Roman. What did Mox do? Mox didn't do nothing bad to Edge. Like, by the time the Shield debuted, Edge was retired. I'm like, this dude hates.
You know what Mox did?
What did Mox do?
Beat up FTR, Adam Copeland's best friend. Yeah, that's it. That's all. That's all you need. Well, I guess that'll do it for World's End Talk. Great show. Probably my top 5 pay-per-views of the year. Yeah. Do you want to rate the show? What would you rate it?
I give it a 9, 8, like 8.5, 9. That main
I give it
event
like
took it away from a 10.
probably like a high 8, low 9, probably
Yeah, same.
in the 8.8 to 9.2 range ish.
Same.
So it wasn't my favorite show of the year, but it was definitely up there.
Fair.
So yeah, so we can talk a little bit about a couple of things before we get into the bulk of the show, even though we're 45 minutes in. Want to talk a little bit about streaming. So Netflix starting on Raw starting next week, Dynamite starting on Max tomorrow, which is
Yes.
exciting.
Massive. This is massive for wrestling overall. Obviously, Netflix is the biggest streaming service out there, so Monday Night Raw being on it is huge. You know, and now AEW being on HBO Max, that's way more eyes to it. So I
Yeah,
think,
than a cable TV channel. So
especially
huge
with all the
opportunities for both. I mean, WWE, they're going to be fine. I'm really
oh yeah,
curious to see how AEW does on Max. I'm super excited for the library to be put on
exactly.
Max of everything prior because I only started watching in mid 2021. So
That
I'm excited to
2019,
go back and be able to see everything from before then.
that 2019 stuff is really good. 2019 probably my second favorite year of AEW. 2019,
Really?
it was a good start. It was such a like. Have you
Yeah,
seen the Mox and Omega death match?
I did. Yeah.
That shit's fucking
Yeah.
good, dude.
Yeah.
I can't wait. That's like probably on my top to watch rewatch because I've only watched it once since it's been.
Really?
So I think I got my
I'm
top
excited to
tier.
see just like the Hangman and Omega tag team matches. Omega versus Pac Iron Man match is one that I'm definitely going to go to.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's just a lot that I want to get back to.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, it'd be good. The first Raw on Netflix is looking like a great show. We're gonna see the end of Liv and Rhea's feud, so I imagine they'll have a great match. The tribal combat probably gonna have. It's gonna be the main event and probably have a mind blowing ending with somebody coming out, whether it's The Rock or whoever, and then Seth and CM Punk.
Hikuleo.
Seth and CM Punk's probably gonna be my guess that opens up the show. That'd be a great way to open up the show.
Yeah.
And after the promo they had on Monday Night Raw, which was an amazing fire
Great.
promo,
Yeah.
they just went in on each other. So it's gonna be great. It's gonna be a really, really good show.
Yeah. Yeah. It's got me borderline debating ordering Netflix, getting a
get the
Netflix subscription.
get the free
There's so many
trial.
subscriptions. Yeah, true. Yeah. So, and then tomorrow night we got Death Riders versus Rated FTR in the
That's gonna
main
be
event.
good.
So in
That's gonna be
Asheville,
great.
North Carolina. So I just want to highlight that it's Fight for the Fallen. So all the proceeds are going to the Hurricane Helene victims, which is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And in Adam Copeland and FTR's hometown. So it makes it kind of like that much more special for them.
Yeah, I'm excited
So
for that. That's a cool name. I love that name, Rated FTR. That's a
yeah,
good name. That's a good
yeah,
mesh. Like I was never a fan of CM FTR. I thought that was always I like
yeah,
them as a group. I just thought the name was like cheesy and like
yeah,
forced. But Rated FTR, that fits perfect.
yeah. Agreed. What else do we got on the show? Hangman versus Orange Cassidy is official. Julia Hart versus Jamie Hayter, and then I think the Hurt Syndicate versus the Acclaimed is on there.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think it is. I think I saw that somewhere. So, but I mean, we'll probably see Kenny Omega.
Oh
Maybe
yeah, I'd imagine.
I would assume. Um, but
It's the
yeah,
first show on Max, so I imagine
first
it's
show
gonna
on
be a
Max, they
banger.
got to go big. They
They
got to
have
go
to go
big.
big. There's gonna be some casual eyes catching it, and especially because Max had a big week in sports this week, so
Yep,
there'll be a lot of people having no eyes.
yep, exactly. So, anything else on that for you?
No,
And
I
what
think that.
I want to talk about one thing before we get into the Arena Wars. Wrestle
Mm-hmm.
Kingdom's coming up this weekend. It's Friday night into Saturday. It's at like 2 a.m. Central Time. Wrestle Kingdom. You can see it on New Japan World. It's going to be great. Or Triller is offering a double pack, Wrestle Kingdom, and then the next night's Wrestle Dynasty. So you can catch it there if you want. But I think the show looks great. I'm
Yeah,
really excited. Zack Sabre Jr. versus Shota Umino is the main event for the IWGP title. This is Wrestle Kingdom, not Dynasty. Um, Takeshita is facing Shingo Takagi in a winner take all title match. That's going to be really good. So I'm looking forward to the show. But then the next night's got Wrestle Dynasty, which should be a killer show between New Japan, AEW, Stardom, and CMLL. So
Are you gonna be watching?
I will be. Yep.
Nice.
I think that one's at 10 our time or 11, 10 or 11 our time Saturday night.
Okay.
So
I won't be home, so I would not be watching.
Fair enough. But some good New Japan shows I'm looking forward to this weekend. So it's always a fun time to end of the year for wrestling.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, shall we get into it then?
I think we shall.
The bulk of the show, this is what I'm really excited to talk about, is the People's Podcast Year-End Awards for 2024. This is our first one doing it with the People's Podcast, so we got to start off on a high note.
Yes, it will. It'll be good. It'll be like we've done everything better. This will be another thing we do better.
Oh yeah, we do it better. Like that Papa John's guy, we do it better. Okay, so we're gonna start off just with the big ones. So we're gonna go male wrestler of the year, female wrestler of the year. So for male wrestler of the year, I'm pretty sure we're in agreement that it can only be one guy, and that guy is amazing, best wrestler in the world, Will Ospreay.
Yeah, that's for this we can go back and forth on. You say yours and you say mine, but I know this is one we both agree on. So I think we can simultaneously talk that Will Ospreay is both of our male wrestler of the year. He without a doubt had arguably the best in-ring year in the history of wrestling.
I would agree with that. I feel like wrestlers would kill for the kind of career that Will Ospreay had just in 2024. Like what he did in this year, people would love a whole career of like that kind of quality of wrestling. And
exactly,
it's just insane that it's happened in 12 months. It's insane.
And the key word is the quality of wrestling. It's not even necessarily about his accomplishments. He's won, he's a 2-time international champion. But like the matches alone, like he's done, overshadows that.
Yeah.
And they're insane though. There's like all these matches are like you could argue one's the best match of the category. You can't say it's hard to stick out which one's the best of all these matches.
Yeah. When I look at match of the year, we'll get down to that a little bit later. But when I look at match of the year, when I look at the list of like contenders for me personally, Will Ospreay is maybe like 8 of them are Will Ospreay matches. That just goes to show like the insane year that he had quality wise. Like you said, it overshadows like he didn't win like a whole bunch of titles or anything. He challenged for the world title and he lost. Swerve. He lost the Continental Classic, but the quality of matches just was unbelievable.
Yeah, I gotta pull it up right here. Like, the people. There's a small taste. I'm not gonna name everyone, but the small taste of people he's had banger matches with. Takeshita, Danielson, Swerve, MJF, multiple matches. MJF,
Okada,
Darby, Okada,
yeah.
Pac, Fletcher, and that's just a sum up. There's still plenty of matches out there.
You got his TNA match with Josh Alexander was great.
Yeah,
he had a couple in New Japan before he even came to AEW in the first couple of months of the year.
And and he's all around. He has it all. He's great in the ring and he's good on the mic.
You really can't ask for much better.
No,
and he sells.
And he sells. He 100% sells. You can't. I always say there's room for improvement for everybody, but I don't know how you can improve Will Ospreay.
I can't think of a single thing that Will Ospreay can improve upon, if I'm being honest.
I said a few episodes. He's, in my opinion, already the greatest in-ring wrestler of all time.
Yeah, I'm starting to agree with you. It's hard not to. It's hard not to agree with you. Every time he steps in the ring, it's magic.
Yeah, it's not like this. It can almost feel like a rookie year for him for a lot of people, because a lot of people weren't exposed to Ospreay before AEW, because New Japan's not necessarily the easiest thing to watch, to get your hands on. But this dude's been having great matches for years and years and years.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like he's had one lucky year.
Yeah,
This is what he does.
it's him. It's just Ospreay. Um, I had one more thought on. I forgot what I was gonna say. Damn. Yeah. Never mind.
You
If I
want to
think about it later, I'll.
Should we do honorable mentions? Who honorable mention
Yeah,
would be?
absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
To be fair, none of mine are even close, but
Yeah.
I feel
Who?
like Cody Rhodes has to be there.
Okay, so we have the same honorable mention too. Awesome.
Cody Rhodes. I would
Yeah.
say Swerve should be there.
Swerve, Gunther. I think those are all great honorable
I think those
mentions.
probably 4. Yeah.
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 We don't have to go
I
in
feel like
detail
Zack
about.
Sabre Jr. deserves some love too.
Yeah, he's a good one too.
Winning the G1, winning the IWGP World Championship for the first time.
It was a
So
really
he's
good
had a
year
great
for wrestling this
It
year.
was all around. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
moving on. Unless you have anything else to say about male wrestler of the year.
Nope, I think we can move on from there.
This is where it gets hard.
Yeah, this is where I think we're going to be different on everything else.
On pretty much everything else. Maybe everything else, yeah. Female wrestler of the year. Who's your female wrestler of the year?
I'm going Liv Morgan. I think I'm going to give it. This year has been her best year in professional wrestling. I think she has carried a division, the women's division of Raw. The content she's putting out, it's really good. It's entertaining. She's having great quality matches, with Rhea, and she's staying relevant with the title. When she had her first run as women's champion a few years ago, it felt lackluster, mostly due to bad booking. It wasn't nothing due to her, but now she's got the right booker. She's more experienced in the ring, moves better. She's good on the mic, and she knows how to get some reactions. Sure, sometimes she use her body to get some reactions out of people. Yeah, but I mean, it's nothing too bad. It's not like too sexual like we used to see in the Ruthless Aggression era. But yeah, I think
Thank God, by the way.
Yeah. I definitely think, she's was mine. And I'll give my honorable mention to Tony Storm. Tony Storm.
Yep, that's a good one.
Had a great year, and I wasn't even that big of a Tony Storm fan in the beginning of the year.
I know you weren't. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember you saying like, "Oh, Tony's blah blah blah."
Yeah.
But all right. Well, where did the picture go? I had a picture just ready. Oh, here it is. My women's wrestler of the year, and you're gonna hate this. I know it. Is Mercedes Moné.
Yeah. I figured.
I think that the quality of matches she's had this year kind of puts her above all else, in my opinion. Starting off, her first match of the year after coming back from injury was with Willow, which was a great match at Double or Nothing. She's had great matches with Stephanie Vaquer, Queen Aminata, Hikaru Shida, 2 with Chris Statlander now. The one last weekend with 2 weekends ago with Hazuki at the New Japan show in California. So I just think it's far and away probably the best catalog of matches for a women's wrestler this year. And listen, she gets a lot of slag on the mic, and I don't think she's that bad. She's not Ricochet level bad. No offense, Ricochet.
I'll say this. I'll give her. I hate doing this. I'll give her some credit. She has arguably has had the best women matches of the year. She's had amazing matches. I'll give credit where credit's due, but she still doesn't do it for me on the mic.
That's fair. I feel like she's gotten better. She started off like pretty cringy, but once she started adjusting to being like the full heel, I feel like she's gotten better. Yeah, she's
not a good face. She is not. Even back in WWE when she was Sasha Banks, she is not a good face. She's a good heel. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna mute my mic because I'm done giving her credit. But she's a good heel.
I got nothing else to say, so we can move on.
Okay.
My honorable mention would probably be Tony Storm's a good one. Mariah May, I feel like she won the Owen Hart tournament and won the world title at All In. But another one is Roxanne Perez. I feel like she's had a great year in NXT, and she doesn't really get mentioned a lot.
Nah, I think it's definitely time for her to get called up because not everyone watches NXT, so there's a lot of eyes not going to her right now.
Yeah.
And she's done her time in NXT, and I think the women's roster, the women with more titles for the women roster, with with the mid card titles, they need to start calling more women up, and
Yeah.
she's needs to be because she's. I don't even know if I would consider her a mid card. I think she can go right to the world title scene.
You think so?
Maybe if they start off with the mid carder, then
Yeah.
that's what they need to do. That's what they need. They need a lot more for women, especially now that SmackDown is going to be 3 hours. It
Yeah.
needs it.
That's fair. Yeah. And I mean, NXT is going to be fine losing her. They just got in Julia Delta and Stephanie Vicaire, so they're in good hands.
NXT's always been good at adapting once they lose their big stars.
Yeah.
Triple H was really good at adapting. Shawn has taken NXT to new levels. I don't watch it as much as I used to watch Triple H's NXT, but there's several people out there that say like this NXT is like one of the best NXTs out there.
Wow.
I don't have
Yeah.
an opinion on that because again I don't watch, but that's saying
I,
a lot.
I'm happy if people think it's like the best NXT. Personally, I can't. I've tried watching it here and there, and it doesn't live up to the black and gold era for me.
That's fair.
But I mean, the women's division's crazy good.
Mm-hmm.
They have a ton of stars in the women's. I think the women's division is just as good as it was in NXT Black and Gold
Mm-hmm.
when they had Charlotte and Sasha and Bailey and Asuka and Becky and whoever else they had at the time. I think the women's division now rivals back then, but I don't think the men's division is even close, to be honest.
That's fair.
You don't have Samoa Joe or Kevin Owens or Sami Zayn or Seth Rollins or
Nakamura.
Nakamura. Yeah. Adam Cole. You don't have the Undisputed Era. So
yeah,
that's a conversation for another time. But all right, so that's female wrestler of the year. You got Liv Morgan. I got Mercedes Moné. So moving on, tag team of the year. We might be in agreement on this one. I got Fraxium as a tag team of the year from NXT.
Yeah, I wasn't that. Yeah, that'd be my agreement. And this overall has not been a good year for tag team wrestling.
It has not, unfortunately. It's so sad to see.
I think Fraxium is the most consistent one because they've been NXT champs for a while, but
great matches. They put on great matches too.
When they first put them together, I'm like, it's a weird combination, but let's see how it goes. It works out good. They work really good together.
They have great chemistry as a tag team.
There's always that they put people randomly together, and most times it doesn't really work. But that was one of the few times where it hit.
Yeah, agreed.
Definitely a great tag team. I can't say too much about them. I have watched a lot of the matches, but again, I don't watch NXT weekly. But stuff I've seen for them, I would definitely.
Agreed.
With the lackluster year of tag teams that we have, they're definitely the most consistent tag team out there.
Yep. I 100% agree with you. Everything you said. It sucks because I think when tag team wrestling is done well, I think it's like one of the most beautiful forms of wrestling. And just seeing where tag team wrestling was, WWE's tag team wrestling has been off for a while, but AEW's tag team wrestling was their strong suit at one point. 3 years ago, and just seeing how far it's fallen just really upsets me. It's unfortunate, and I'll continue to say it. It's because of the trios titles. Ever since the trios titles got introduced, it's taken away from the tag team division that was once the best in the world.
Yeah, I'd agree. But yeah, anything else you want to say on Fraxium before we do honorable mentions?
Honestly, I don't even want to mention an honorable mention.
I'm gonna give an honorable mention to DIY.
That's that's fair.
I think especially now they're doing really good. The past 6 months, I think they've have shown who they are as a team. They gotten that groove back and that momentum back. So I'll give DIY.
Fair. They've had a good year, and props to the War Raiders coming back, winning the titles off of the Judgment Day. Thank God they won the titles off the Judgment Day. But because they defended their titles like once in 5 months or something crazy like that.
Once or twice. Yeah, it was not a lot.
It really sucks because if the Bucks had just been booked a little bit better throughout their storyline versus AEW, I feel like they would be my tag team of the year. But they were just. I enjoyed the storyline at first, but it just went downhill.
Yeah, it had a great start, but then it just went downhill pretty fast.
I mean, we could honorable mention Sting and Darby. They only wrestled for the first 2 months, really, but
Yeah.
Sting going out on top as a champion, undefeated in AEW, was I think a nice touch. So
Yeah.
okay, that's it for tag team of the year. Moving on, we're gonna go pay per view of the year or PLE. So
I'll let you go first for this one.
alrighty, I'm gonna go with. I'm really torn. Can I say two, or do I have to choose?
You gotta do one. That second one could be your honorable mention.
Damn it. Um, I think overall, I'm gonna say AEW Revolution.
It's a good one.
You had Osprey versus Takeshita. You had Blackpool Combat Club versus FTR. You had Sting and Darby versus the Young Bucks. You had who was the world title? Samoa Joe versus Hangman versus Swerve in Triple Threat.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Tony Storm versus Deonna Purrazzo. I'm just trying to think off the top of my head, but I mean, Osprey and Takeshita, and then Sting and Darby versus the Bucks alone kind of elevated this pay per view because those are two just match of the year type of candidates for me.
Mm-hmm.
So that pay per view all around was just amazing in my opinion. So
Yeah, Revolution.
I'm gonna look up the card really quick because
That's what I did for mine. That's what I did
I
really
want to
quick.
remember what the rest of the matches on there
Revolution.
were.
Sometimes it's so hard, those beginning pay per views to remember because it's a whole year. You forget
That
stuff.
was 9 months ago. Oh yeah, Eddie Kingston versus Bryan Danielson was on there. That was a really good match. I know you're not an Eddie Kingston fan, but
Yeah, no, not at all. I
you had
don't.
Meat Madness.
I don't get any hype behind Eddie Kingston whatsoever.
Meat Madness with Wardlow, Hobbs, and Lance Archer.
Hmm.
Christian Cage versus Daniel Garcia. Oh yeah, Roddy versus Orange Cassidy. I think that's where Roddy won the international title.
Yeah.
Was at Revolution. So
Yep.
just all around, I just really enjoyed that show. But like I said, there were those like 3 or 4 matches that really elevated it to the top. So I will leave it to you for your number.
You want to do the honorable mention now, or
You
do we do
want,
those
you want me
two?
to do that first, or
Yeah, we can do. Yeah.
okay? I have 3. I won't go into detail about all of them, but
Okay.
the one I was really debating with Revolution for the number 1 spot was AEW Dynasty because you had Danielson versus Osprey, which was insane. You had Willow winning the TBS title. You had a match that I think Swerve winning the world title in a match with Samoa Joe. Okada versus Pac, which I think is a super underrated match this year. There was one Roddy versus Kyle O'Reilly, which I think was a fantastic match. Plus, I was there, so I'm a little biased.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I think that was just a great. Oh, and the FTR versus Bucks in the ladder match with Jack Perry's return was another highlight of that show. So I think that was a really well-rounded show too, and really debated putting that number 1. But
that's fair. That's fair.
2 other honorable mentions. I won't go into detail. All Out, which we were both there, and I really liked how after like the super happy All In, All Out was like really dark and disturbing.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed that a lot, like the contrast 2 weeks later. And then that was it. Yeah.
That's fair. That's definitely a good list. Good. Yeah. My pay per view of the year. It's WrestleMania 40. Now we do it. I'm counting as one show, so both nights is one show. That's how I count it. If you see it different, well, congratulations. I disagree. But yeah, it was so many. It's one of the better WrestleManias in memory. Had a great ladder match for the tag house. That's where we saw the tag title split. So that was something that was much needed. Rhea Ripley, Becky Lynch had a great match. Match of the year candidate, Jimmy and Jey Uso.
That alone brings WrestleMania to the bottom for me. Just the sheer disappointment that match was.
It was disappointing, but yeah, stuff with night 1 with the bloodline of The Rock and Roman Reigns teaming up against Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes, which is a crazy concept to think of. If you say that if you go back 5 years and tell someone that's going to happen, the whole concept of that match, like that's crazy. It doesn't make any
Yeah,
sense.
very.
Drew McIntyre and Seth had a great match. Drew finally got his flowers, winning the World Heavyweight title. Sure, it lasted probably like 5 minutes.
Are you forgetting one?
No, I'm still going.
Oh, okay.
uh, got to see a cash in of Damian Priest, as I said, cashing in on Drew McIntyre. So a cash in's always amazing. We saw the end of Gunther's 666th day Intercontinental Championship. A big history run ending. Crazy to think that's not the biggest title reign that ended that night, that weekend, I should say.
Right, yeah.
And yeah, we had that legendary match of Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns. Cody Rhodes won his title there. I will talk a little bit more about that match in a later category, but yeah. Overall, a great show. Great. It's everything I expect out of a WrestleMania.
Awesome, man. Yeah. WrestleMania was definitely a highlight for WWE this year. Big show, grandest stage of them all. They say that for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a massive show. The Rock showing up was awesome. Undertaker showing up, being like the keeper, the savior of WrestleMania was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, that was a lot of fun, especially that main event match night 2. That was one of those matches that was like it really brought back the nostalgia of being a wrestling fan from back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And like I say back in the day, like we're like, oh, we're talking 80s and 90s. No, I mean like ruthless aggression. Like,
whoa, Alex, we're old. It's okay.
I know. I'm approaching 29. I'm getting old. I'm starting to feel it. So
yeah.
What are your honorable mentions?
I just did one quick honorable mention of All Out 2024. It does have some bias as me being there, but overall it was a great show. That holy crap. Adam Page and Swerve match, that crazy ass match, one of the most extreme matches I've seen live, maybe the most extreme match I've seen live.
Yeah, that was insane.
Danielson versus Jack Perry was great. We got to see attempted murder afterwards. So that's always fun. I know we talked about it when it happened, but I am one who is a fan of the back spot.
Oh, I loved it. Yeah.
If you're not a fan of it, stop being soft.
I think Enzo Amore, he's got one word and he'll spell it out for you.
That's one thing. Now, a quick side thing. People always saying how they want the attitude of ruthless aggression era back, but then you do shit like that and they get all sensitive. Like people just can't handle
or a syringe. They can't handle a syringe being poked through a guy's cheek. Like what do you do?
Exactly. But yeah,
not a great match. Really had somebody getting their dick chopped off.
Literally. Will Ospreay versus Pac. It's so many great matches. A lot of great matches.
I love the eerie feeling you get from a show like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's almost like unsettling, but not in like in a bad way.
It was like a horror show.
It's like holy fuck, what did we just watch?
Yeah, and there was several matches like that. Except we watched Attempt to Murder with Danielson, and that steel cage match is basically just full of attempt to murder.
Yeah, I still cringe at not in a bad way. I still cringe at like the vertebraker on the cinder block. And that was a real fucking cinder block.
They had that cinder when I went to the Chicago Wolves game for AEW night. They had that cinder block there. I touched it. I confirm it was a real cinder block.
Did it have Swerve's blood on it?
It did.
What?
My God. There was stuff with that with blood on it, man. There's literally blood on the thing.
Man, that was a great show.
Mm-hmm.
So it's so crazy to see the contrast of how happy All In was with Mariah winning in her home country, Ospreay winning in his home country, and Danielson winning the world title. And then 2 weeks later, it's like, wow, this show is dark as fuck. I love it though. Anything else for pay-per-view of the year?
Nope, I don't got nothing else.
Awesome. So let's go to this is going to be the hardest one, I think.
It is. It's tough.
Match of the year.
Oh, we're doing match. Oh yeah, match of the year.
I think that's after pay-per-view. Yeah.
Yep.
Match of the year. So this is a hard one.
It is tough.
We can almost save it for last if we want to.
It's up to you.
Kind of end it on a high note.
Yeah, we can save it for last.
Yeah, let's save that for last. So let's go with breakout star of the year.
All right, I'll go first. Bronson Reed. I think Bronson. I know he's been active for several years, but this year he really broke out. Like I was not a big Bronson Reed fan. I always thought like he's okay, he's mid, he's all right. But after the stuff he did this year with Seth Rollins, Braun Strowman, like I'm completely sold. Like he is so damn good. Unfortunately, he did get injured. He broke his ankles at
Not CM Punk. You mean
yeah.
CM Punk didn't break his ankles?
CM Punk pulled Rome out the way. That's how he broke his ankles.
Yeah. No, he saved Roman Reigns' life. That's what he did.
Yeah.
That's what he should be hanging on to.
But yeah, he shines so much this year, like a main event talent, and just the way he moves for a big guy, it's
Mm-hmm.
insane.
Doing moonsaults off the top rope, like big guys don't do that, but he
Mm-hmm. Like,
does.
yeah, he does, he does. But yeah, so I'll leave it at that. It's short and sweet. But for an honorable mention, I'll give Kyle Fletcher. He definitely has broken out in this past few months.
Yep. So that's a good segue into a transition into mine because my breakout star of the year is Kyle Fletcher.
All right.
I don't want to say Mark Davis getting injured was kind of like the catalyst for Kyle
Mm-hmm.
Fletcher becoming what he is today. And I
Yeah,
don't
kind of a
obviously am
blessing in
not
disguise.
exactly. It's a blessing in disguise. Not happy that Mark Davis got injured, obviously, and he's
No.
back now. He's healthy now.
Mm-hmm.
But that was really what Kyle Fletcher needed
Mm-hmm.
to kind of catapult his career because ever since he's become a single star this year, he's been on fire. His
Mm-hmm.
first singles match with Osprey happened like right after Dynamite. That was when the whole Callis family was still a thing, and they were kind of teasing kicking Osprey out. But that was a
Mm-hmm.
great match. He had a great run as Ring of Honor television champion. One of the matches that I really loved with him was versus um, Lee Johnson at fuck. Was that Supercard of Honor or was it? It was at one of the Ring of Honor pay per views. Whatever one was in the middle of the year. But I thought that
Mm-hmm.
was a fantastic match. And what he's done in the Continental Classic ever since he turned heel, he's been incredible. Match of the year candidate with Osprey at Full Gear, and another brutal match with Osprey at World's End. So he's really coming to his own as a singles guy, and he's beefed the hell up too.
Yeah, he is. He
He
is
used to be
beat
he
up a
used to be
lot.
thin, but he's like a 2009 Randy Orton. I know he's getting that comparison all around the
Yeah,
social
he looks a
media,
lot
but
like him.
he does look like him. It's kind of creepy. But I wonder if Randy has a kid that he's like not sure about that he doesn't know about. But
Man, a small little sidetrack, but at my local bingo hall wrestling, there's this one guy who's a fucking rip off of Randy. Like he looks just like Randy Orton, even has like the back tattoo that Randy Orton has.
that's awesome. I love that.
Anytime people come out, like people chant RK Five Below.
Oh my god, that's funny. That's why indie wrestling is so fun. People don't take it seriously.
Yep.
Um, as for an honorable mention, it's kind of tough for me. Um, I'll say probably like Mariah May,
That's a good one.
because not a lot of people knew her in New Japan before she debuted last year in AEW. But then this year, I mean, she's really taken into her own,
Mm-hmm.
turning on Tony Storm, winning the Owen Hart Cup, winning the World Championship in London, and she's only like 25.
Yeah, still very young.
And Kyle Fletcher's only like 26,
Yeah.
so he's crazy too.
So
So
would
that
you
would be
say she's worth $100 to sign a chair yet?
no. Sorry, Mariah, but
uh,
ah,
that
this
was
chair. Oh frick!
yeah, that was crazy.
This chair.
I love that turned out so good.
It did.
Yeah, but she
Mariah,
definitely
man. Sorry you're not on it, but I wasn't gonna pay $100
no,
an
especially
upcharge.
especially at that time, like she was far worth $100
Yeah,
for the signature.
that was back in March. Yeah,
Yeah,
before. But I mean, I still wanted to meet her, but not for that price.
no,
So
not with the people that were there and the money that you already spent.
no, there were bigger people there. I was there for, but
Yeah,
all right. So moving on to return or debut of the year. This is a good one.
it's a tough one. I'll let you go
It's
first
a
for
tough
this
one.
one.
You let me go first. It might shock you. I'm going to say Roman Reigns.
Really? Oh, I was not. It shocked me.
Roman Reigns. Um, Mainly because of the aura that he has.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like gave me chills.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like holy shit, like he's back. And I was one who didn't want him to lose in the first place at Mania, so like seeing him return, I feel like just I don't know. It's hard for me to put into words like of just
Mm-hmm.
the hour that his
I
hour
said
is
the hour
unmatched.
he has is insane,
It's
especially
unmatched. No, nobody in
then.
wrestling has hour like Roman Reigns, so
Mm-hmm.
I'll just leave it at that.
That's fair.
Um, Honorable mention. I, I might say Adam Copeland, to be honest.
Okay, that's
I
fair.
wasn't expecting him to come back this year. I figured like maybe he would return at Fight for the Fallen tomorrow night, but
Mm-hmm.
um, I mean MJF or Jack Perry would be another. So
Mm-hmm. All right. All right. Well, my for return slash debut of the year is the return of MJF to AEW.
yeah,
To me, that one's really good because you didn't know where he was going. You know, you had the bidding war of 2024 going on. And there was no rumors out there. Like MJF like kind of forgot about him for a little bit, kind of like you kind of forgot he didn't show up at the Rumble, didn't show up at WrestleMania, didn't show up
and
at
there
all
was
these.
there was speculation too.
Yeah,
It's
there
like,
was
oh
a
my
lot
god,
of
MJF's gonna be here.
yeah, and then he comes out. He has the video montage comes out to a huge pop, has that Triple H kind of jacket with him, and yeah, seeing him was awesome. I think he's good in AEW, so it was good to see him back there.
Didn't I think what gave it away to me was Adam Cole came out first and was talking on
Hmm.
the mic, and I was like,
Yeah.
wait a minute, this doesn't happen on an AEW show normally, unless there's somebody coming back or debuting. So I was
Hmm.
like, hmm.
Was that
But up
was that pay per
until
view? Wasn't
it
that
was
pay
a
per view thing?
double or nothing,
Yeah,
yeah.
double or nothing.
Up until
Yeah,
that point, it was nothing.
nothing.
He
It
keeps
was
in
nothing.
kayfabe
He's the
better than
best.
anybody else. Like
Yeah,
when he
nowadays.
returned in 2022, just
Hmm.
go silent. Like he skipped out on the signings or whatever and took a plane home like right after the show,
Hmm.
or like debated like not even going, but he was just radio silent and then
Yep.
came back it all out. So
He's good at keeping kayfabe.
the best.
The best. And I'll give an honorable mention to Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. Like you said, the hour he has and coming back as a face. WrestleMania, he was arguably the biggest heel in business at that point. No, everyone wanted to see him lose for the most part. And then he comes back as like the biggest face. That huge
It,
pop he had.
it's crazy because everybody wanted to see him lose and leave. And
Hmm.
then a month later, everyone's like, "We miss Roman Reigns. Like, bring Roman back."
Yep, exactly.
Oh man, but I love it. So, anything else on that
Nope,
one?
I'll give it
Awesome.
that.
Moving on to one that I think we're going to disagree on, probably feud of the year.
Yeah, I'll go with this one since you started last time. My
Go
feud
for
of the
it.
year is CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre. To me, that's the top tier feud that we had this year. You know, it was everything you could ask for in a feud. Several great segments. There was several of amazing segments with them. All the matches were good. A great blood feud payoff inside Hell in a Cell. I mean, there's not much more you can ask for a feud like that. Like you saw blood with them, got personal, everything. That's like to me, that's everything I look in a feud. Something that's really personal and they execute well, which they did.
Yeah, 100% agreed. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a match of the year candidate that they had, in my opinion, the Hell in a Cell match. I think it was
Mm-hmm.
the best match that WWE put on all year. So,
Mm-hmm. That's
uh,
fair. And for my honorable mention, it's going to be Cody Rhodes versus the Roman Reigns slash Bloodline kind
wow.
of
Okay.
thing.
Hmm.
Everything they did that, the stuff with The Rock was amazing with Cody Rhodes and all the stuff leading up to him fighting Roman. He won the Rumble, didn't get the match. Rock was supposed to get it. He fought for that. He did what he had to do. He got the momentum of the crowd and it booked up to a great WrestleMania match.
Yeah. I I loved it up until after Mania. I feel like it fell off a cliff. with the whole like solo thing. It's come back around since Roman's come back, but there was
Mm-hmm.
a couple month period there where I was just like, get the shit off my screen.
Oh yeah, most all my stuff is from January to WrestleMania on, and some of the stuff with Roman and Cody now. But
Yeah,
mostly, yeah, it's mostly leading up to that.
gotcha. All right. So my feud of the year is Hangman versus Swerve, and I'm sure you
Mm.
expected that.
Yep.
Yes, the first half of their feud happened last year. However, they did bring it back in like February. They had that time limit draw on Dynamite in a great match. Time limit
Mm-hmm.
draw to see who would face Samoa Joe for the world title at Revolution. They were ended up being a triple threat, so they kept the feud going kind of there. Hangman returned, cost Swerve like blood and guts,
Mm-hmm.
like a month later or so. And then it all came to a cultivation at All Out in the steel cage match, and Hangman burned his childhood house down. Like that alone is insane. One of the more insane things I've seen happen in wrestling since I've been watching. Um, the the quality of matches that they have, the chemistry that they have, the segments that they had were just, I think, above all. So
Yeah, I definitely don't. Again, the only reason it's not my feud of the year, like it was even hard not to give it an honorable mention. I literally just flipped a coin for honorable mention between that and Roman
that's
and
fair.
Roman and Cody. Like again, if it happened all in 2024, 100 like 100% agree. But since some of the I won't say the best stuff, some of the really good stuff, like Swerve going to this house happened last year. That's the only reason why. But it's
And
definitely
Texas Death Match, yeah.
yeah, and I have definitely there's no hate to having that opinion. I definitely understand.
Yeah. It was just there those two should have one of those kind of feuds that lasts a lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they shouldn't be constantly going back to it, but
No.
it should be like a couple of years down the road, like kind of revisit it.
Yep.
So I
Exactly.
think that's what it for their career. I think
I agree.
so. Um, honorable mention, I'll say. Oh, duh. Why? I don't even know why I have to think about it. Punk versus Drew. Obvious honorable mention for me. It was
Mm-hmm.
almost the number one spot. They had a great feud, and it
Mm-hmm.
cultivated in Hell in a Cell, which was amazing.
Yeah.
I want to give one more honorable mention to. It wasn't very long lived at all. Brian Danielson versus John Moxley. It
Yeah.
was only like 2-ish months, but I think that they were. I think that it was great those couple of
Yeah.
months
I
with the
agree.
whole bag over the head thing, and then yeah, Danielson screaming like he's gonna kick his fucking head in on TV, like dropping f
Mm-hmm.
bombs, and then the way that they wrote Danielson off at Wrestle Dream was just so eerie and so
Yep.
like, oh shit, like Mox is here, he's not messing around. So
Yeah. I
I
agree.
feel like
It's
that
fair.
deserves some love.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and Mariah and Tony, obviously, their story was really good.
Yeah, it was good.
So yeah, I'm gonna skip down to we'll do segment of the year, and then we'll do moment, and then we'll do or match, and then we'll do moment. Sound good?
Okay. Yeah, works for me.
So segment of the year. I think you started last time, so I'll say, Hangman burning down Swerve's house. Clear moment of the year for me.
Okay, then we
Like
can.
moment slash segment of the year,
Okay. I'll jump in on that because that's also my segment of the year, so we can do this one kind of together.
bro.
Yeah,
It was batshit insane.
it literally. I've always loved the segments that involve like burning something. Like Randy Orton did that with the Wyatt Sanction a few years ago, and I loved that. That was like what's one of my all time favorite SmackDown segments. And now to this, like that was done perfectly. Like
Yeah.
was it because on social media that day, Swerve posted about getting a house. And I remember seeing that like, oh yeah, Hangman's gonna burn that shit down. Hangman's burning that shit down.
Oh
And
no.
it's such a great, him cutting the promo, sitting in the chair, sipping the glass of whiskey, and just letting it on fire. Like the image of it is so. It's literally our group chat image for
Yeah.
our group chat when the segment. It's me like the perfect segment. It
Yeah.
leads you to that segment like, oh shit, you want to see Hangman get his ass kicked by Swerve because you saw how furious Swerve was.
Swerve literally was like breaking down in the ring because
Mm-hmm.
he was like a mix of crying and pissed, and it was so well done. It was so perfect. I don't think I could. I wouldn't change a single thing about it to make it better because I don't think you can make it better.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a perfect segment. And Hangman is just a psycho,
Yeah,
and
dude.
I love it so much. The
I love
picture
him.
of Hangman with the burning house in the background with a glass of whiskey, like you said,
Iconic. Like
it's
that will go
iconic.
down as like one of the most iconic photos in AEW history.
Yep, absolutely. Is it crazy to say they've had the best feud in AEW history so far?
No, that's 100. I would 100% say that.
I think so
Like you
too.
said, this feud is gonna feed for years and years on. Like
Yeah,
it
and
will
it should.
carry on. It's
It
a,
should.
yeah,
Yeah. So, honorable mentions.
yeah. What's your
Uh,
honorable mention?
what's mine?
Yeah,
I'll mention the Elite tombstoning Tony Khan because that was funny as hell.
yeah. That was really good. Really good
Uh,
segment. Sadly, it didn't go to the potential I thought it would,
yeah,
but it was
at
still
the
the
segment
segments.
alone though, it was funny.
Yeah,
it
it was awesome. It was a
was
really
like
good
holy
segment.
shit.
Mm-hmm.
But another one would be Seth Rollins versus CM Punk last night on Raw,
Mm-hmm.
probably because they had a crazy mic battle. I thought they were just rocking each other.
Yep. Yeah, fun. My honorable mention, I would say the New Day segment of Kofi and Xavier turning on Big E. Just the shock factor that brought me was insane because, at our age, sometimes it's easy to predict professional wrestling. I did not see that coming
No,
whatsoever.
man, it was good.
Yeah.
What about The Rock beating down Cody Rhodes? I think that
That's
deserves
another like
some
very
mention.
close,
Yeah.
especially and I was there live for that, and they didn't bleep out when they were saying fuck and whatnot. Like they didn't bleep that out whatsoever at the show. Like you heard that. So hearing that live was crazy without because when they don't bleep it out, it makes a big difference.
Oh
Hearing it
yeah.
just makes that big difference. And I
Yeah.
get why you got to bleep out fuck. You can't say that on TV like that's
Yeah.
obvious.
AEW's let that go a few times.
And they probably got a nice fine for it too.
um,
But yeah, that
but yeah,
segment was
that
great.
segment was awesome. I loved
Hmm.
it. The Rock just beating the hell out of him, making him bloody.
Yeah, dude, that was like
Fuck this, fuck that. Like,
real fun. That was like one of the best shows I've ever been at. That was
yeah,
like I've been to a lot of Monday Raws, and that clears like seeing the Rock show up was so fucking cool. For I got
yeah,
goosebumps just thinking about that.
yeah. The Rock's so iconic.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Now I just need to see a Stone Cold entrance. I gotta see it. I've
yeah,
gotten Stone Cold pop because when Kevin Owens came out as Stone Cold, to fake it, I was there for that. I was
you
in
were
Chicago.
there, dude.
Yeah,
That segment was hilarious.
dude, I got
Oh my god.
I should probably put those videos on a
In
uh,
our wrestling group.
on a TikTok. It's on my personal TikTok account. I have both the times the theme song came out because I was just casually recording. I got like both those every time he did the theme song. I got both of them. I'll send you the video because I literally you see me jumping up and down and like a little fucking kid. It's for that
Bro,
son
I
of
fucking died laughing.
a.
That was so funny, and he looked like Stone Cold too,
Yeah.
with the cap and everything, the jorts. That was the
Mhm.
ultimate troll job.
It was.
Uh,
Yeah.
alrighty, so that's segment of the year. We got two more. We'll go with match of the year next, and this I think is going to be the hardest one.
It's tough. It's really tough. For this, my match of the year is gonna be Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 40. It was a great match overall, but the storytelling that match, I'm a big storytelling guy. I like my storytelling. I think that was one of the best storytelling matches in the history of wrestling. It was almost like the Avengers put into WWE. We saw this
Yeah,
great match, and then we see The Rock come out, John Cena, Undertaker. Like it's
Seth
Seth
Rollins,
Rollins.
Jimmy Uso,
Yeah, it was
or the
so
Usos. Yeah,
yeah, it was so insane. And I remember when Seth came, you heard that Shield theme song, and I feel like everyone had that like just completely forgot contracts and everything. Everyone felt like Dean was showing up. Like
that would have
everyone
been.
thought,
Could you imagine?
dude, that would have been if there was ever time to do a crossover, that would have been the most insane one ever. Sure, it would have made no sense because technically Dean and Roman have never had beef before, but it would have been cool. But
Yeah,
yeah, the match
that would have
itself
been
was
sweet.
great match. Great ending, feel good ending to it felt so weird watching Roman. I remember when Roman lost, and it almost didn't feel real because nearly a 4-year reign and see it end. Everything
Yeah,
about that match to me is just perfect.
yeah, it was very good. It'd probably
Mm-hmm.
be my second favorite WWE match of the year after the Hell in
Mm-hmm.
a Cell with Drew and Punk, but
Mm-hmm.
just fantastic. It made you feel like a kid again
It did. It
with
did.
with the nostalgia, and I loved it. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah. For an honorable mention for match of the year, man, I want to give a Will Ospreay match. It's so hard to fucking nail it down, man.
every Will Ospreay match,
I'm gonna go Will Ospreay and MGF in the 59 minutes and 58 seconds. I'm
59,
going.
58. Yep.
I'm going with that match. That was a great
Wow,
match.
that was insane. This, MJF is crazy because he had the hour and 7 minute
Mhm.
match with Danielson a couple of years ago at Revolution. Like
MJF
that
is
man is a 60-minute man.
he's an underrated man in the ring. I feel like he gets more credit now, but he still deserves a lot more
Yep,
credit he gets in the ring.
100%. Um, was that it for you?
Yeah.
All right, all right. So I guess I gotta go now, and now you're making me pick. I'm just gonna throw a dart at a dartboard any Will Ospreay match this year. Um, no, I think probably gonna be a little biased. Well, no, after watching it back on TV, I'm not mad at all about this. It has to be Osprey versus Danielson. I think for me,
hmm
um, being there live made it that much crazier. But even after watching it back, I was like, nothing can touch this. Like nothing. And being there live and in person for that, I'm so sad that you missed it because the
hmm
feeling in the arena was incredible, and it's
Yeah.
probably something that will never be topped. Like feeling wise, being at a show, um, it was
Mhm.
just
I can
insane.
imagine. Yeah.
You got the best wrestler in the world today. You got one of the best wrestlers in history fighting each other to see who's the best. And
hmm
sometimes that's all you need. And they did,
Yeah.
and they killed it. They went for like 40 minutes or something crazy like that. The Oz cutter into the Busaiku knee was
Really good.
an
Awesome.
insane spot. One of my favorite spots that I've seen. Talking Will Ospreay and the Oz cutter, he always gets that countered into something really cool. Like
Yeah.
Jessica caught him in the Blue Thunder Bomb one time.
hmm
Okada hit him with the drop kick, and it was so smooth out of that. But yeah, that match I think stands out above the rest. It's probably in my top 10 favorite matches of all time, if I'm
That's
being
fair.
honest.
Definitely
So
fair.
honorable mentions, yeah, any Will Ospreay match I think.
That's fair.
Probably if I had to pinpoint, probably the one with Swerve at Forbidden Door.
hmm
The double stomp through the table was crazy,
Yeah.
and those two are just smooth. The one with Takeshita at Revolution, and then
That's a really good one.
yeah, and then probably the one with Okada.
Yeah. Can't go
Um,
wrong there. There's no going wrong with Will Ospreay.
no, I just he's only like 31 years old.
Yeah, he's still super
That's the
young.
crazy part about it is he's he's just incredible. I don't really have anything else to say about it,
hmm
but WWE honorable mention would be Punk versus Drew. But
Fair enough.
let's see. All right, this is going to be the last one. Our last award, moment of the year. I feel like this is the one that's most special.
hmm
It hits the most in the heart. Moment of the year. So you went first, so I'll go first on this one. For me, it's got to be Bryan Danielson winning the world title at All In. I may have shed a tear. I may not have, but I will not clarify if I did or not. Um, seeing one of the greatest of all time able to come back from a neck injury like that and get a big moment in front of 50,000 people like that was just special.
mm
And the match was insane too. The match was great. Um, and Swerve played it up real well too. He was beating the hell out of out of Danielson like in front of his own kids. That was funny as hell. But Swerve really helped build that too. So huge credit to Swerve. But seeing Danielson win was just special.
Yeah, that's definitely agreeable. I definitely. Yeah, it's not it's not a wrong answer whatsoever. It's
No.
definitely it's not my answer, but it's my honorable mention. I'll give it that.
So what is your answer? I think I know it. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, my moment of the year, as I talked throughout this award segment, is Cody Rhodes winning the WWE title. I think that was just a great. Like I said, the story of that was amazing. Him overcoming this our beast, king, legend, goddess, tribal chief of Roman Reigns, and overcoming the almost 4 year reign. You're not gonna get a chance to relive stuff like that. 4 year reigns, they don't happen anymore. That's the first time that's happened for a world title since like what, Hogan days probably,
Yeah, I think
back when
so. I
Eric
think
was
it's
in
like,
his 20s.
is it the third longest single title reign of all time after
Yeah,
Bruno and Hogan? I think.
yeah, it's up there. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it's third or fourth, but yeah, it's up there, and
yeah,
that's saying something. Time back then it was a lot different, but yeah, this legendary reign finally came to an end. A great video package afterwards for paying homage to Dusty and whatnot. Just an overall great moment.
yeah, 100%. That was amazing. An amazing moment for Cody. It was my honorable mention, or one
Yeah,
of.
so
It was
uh,
my second. It was my honorable mention.
yeah, other flip honorable mention would be Danielson for like everything you said. Like it was perfect. It was hard not to put my moment of the year. It was one I was going back and forth this whole time.
I miss him so much, dude.
I do too.
Uh, it's been like 2.5 months, and I'm like, oh, I need Daniel. I need another Danielson match in my life. I do want to give one more honorable mention. Zack Sabre Jr. winning the G1 and going on to win the IWGP World Championship, I think
hmm
is amazing. After all that he's done in New Japan, being able to overcome and finally win the big one is
hmm
great for him. He's one of the best wrestlers in the world today. I love watching him. So I'm looking forward to two of his matches this weekend. It's going to be exciting.
hmm
But
Yeah.
I think that's all I got for match of the year or moment of the year. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ, I had a stroke. Um, I guess that wraps up the People's Podcast year end awards.
Yeah.
The
Kind of.
superlatives are over.
Yeah. Kind of leading into the end of the episode, I guess. Year's ending. We can definitely. It's our 10th episode. We're still pretty new at this, but the support we've gotten so far this year has been amazing. We're closing in on 100 subscribers on YouTube. We're only 13 subscribers away, so I'd imagine we get there in the coming weeks from what we've been doing. And yeah, mostly it's a big thank you to y'all. Y'all have been really supportive for the few months we've been doing this.
10 episodes. It's crazy to think that it's already been 10.
Yeah,
So God, that's 2.5 months, 3 months ago when we
hmm
started. So like James said, just super grateful for anybody that watches and supports us. Um, and if anybody wants to be a part,
yeah,
message us, reach out. We'd love to have you on, talk wrestling with you.
yeah. Everyone's welcome. We got things planned for 2024. We're gonna still stay
2025, but yeah,
yeah, 20. My bad. We still got a lot of things planned for 2025. We're still gonna be consistent as always. We'll be here every 2 weeks, having shorts almost every day. And yeah, still providing. Like I said, if you want to join in, you want to talk about something certain, we'll talk about it. You want to join in for an episode? Come talk wrestling with us. Come talk. We're very,
positivity only. Don't be tribal.
yeah, and be,
We can be critical, but don't
yeah,
be
you can be
don't
critical. You
don't
can be
be
a
an
fan
idiot.
of, yeah, you can be a fan of one and not like the other. Just leave it at that. Then
Don't be
there's
like
nothing wrong.
Katie from New York.
Yeah, yeah. We got stuff planned for 2025. We're gonna be at a wrestling convention in Indianapolis at the end of April. We're gonna
Spring
interview a
Supply
bunch of
Club,
people
baby.
there.
If anyone is there, say hi.
Yeah, we'll be
Got the
there.
money for it.
We're gonna interview a bunch of random wrestling fans, ask them their hot takes. We got stuff planned, and like I said, we're close to 100. We'll probably hit 100 on all our social media besides Instagram in next year. I'll just be happy if Instagram we get up to 20 next year.
I really hope TikTok doesn't go away because that's where we're killing it.
Yeah, that was oh shit. I didn't even
That
think
would
about
suck.
yeah.
Yeah, that would
TikTok
suck.
we've been really good at TikTok. Like the one video from yesterday did over 1,000 views.
Damn. Yeah, that would
Hopefully
that would be
TikTok don't go, And that'd be a major blow. I did not consider that about TikTok
Yeah.
going away. That'd be a major blow. But yeah.
That just means everyone that uses TikTok will shift over to another.
Yeah.
So
True.
But yeah, thank you guys, and
Mm-hmm.
thank you, James.
Thank you,
For
Alex.
being
It's
awesome.
been it's been a pleasure, man. I enjoy
Yeah,
doing this with you. It's fun. I'm glad now we have the opportunity to do our own stuff and do this every 2 weeks, not every 2 months.
yeah, yeah. It's been a blast. So I've
Mhm.
enjoyed it a lot. So
Yeah, it's been a lot of
um,
fun. We're just getting started.
just
This is
getting
the
started.
beginning.
This will not be going away.
No.
I will say that.
Nope.
So no matter what happens, we'll be here.
Exactly. We'll be here, whether we get a million views or 0 views, we'll be here every two
Fuck
weeks.
it. Yeah, because I just love talking about wrestling. I don't care.
Exactly.
I don't
It's
care if we
easy.
get 2 people watching or whatever. So
Exactly. That's what we're here for. We're just here to talk wrestling and have a good time.
exactly, and that's what we do.
Exactly.
So with that, much like our king who returned on Saturday, we must bid you adieu and good night. Mwah.
Mwah.
Bang.
Bang.